Okay, let's do the base law. And then there's the other thing which like I forgot to mention last episode with the difficulty thing. The fact that they just removed the best armor in the game of like the shield armor and made it into a fucking skill on the tree. In fact, the skills just aren't good in general. Like, they make it... Like, there's no reason for these purple skills. They don't make the game better, they make it worse. Because I think it's because it expects you to use them, like, all the time, and I just forget to use them, and it's just like... Everything just takes too fucking long to kill on this one.
I just think she talks a lot.
At least we got some more... No, we just have a ton of lore.
To know about everything.
She can also crank out a whole army of machines to kick your sorry behind once she's fixed.
Well, I guess I just better stay on her good side.
I'm gonna go to the lab room, maybe. 1 out of 3 ethers, though. What's this? Why aren't you examining it? Well, that sucks. We can't get that lore for some reason. Got the Heart of Azeroth. What's that? The door is working, so shouldn't the token be? Why is it not working? I guess we can't get that lore for some reason. For no reason, just because it thinks it's funny to not let me.
Spinning in a teacup. Yeah, that looks like you got what you wanted.
Yeah. It's almost time to go after Herfestos.
Finally, we get to rock and roll. Yeah, at least that's how the old one said it, I think.
Bet you're used to that focus by now.
Well, I can hit machines in their weak points. I guess that's something. I wish all the other
I
data was
can't.
as easy to deal with. Now, to be honest, it's hard to understand half of what's on there. And then the other half reminds me, well, this isn't a fight you can win by just waving a hammer. Which is kind of what I do. But hey, that just means I gotta study harder. You know, make myself useful.
Just give it time. I made a new friend while I was getting ether.
Yeah, I've seen him. Catalo's a broody fella. You do know the cards just say these Tanakh drink people's blood?
You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you trust him, so do I.
Anything happen I should know about?
Zoe asked us to help her bring more plants in here. Not for eating, apparently. Yeah, if you ask me, the place is fine as it is. You know, metal might be plain, but it's sturdy. Nothing wrong with that.
I got some
Needs a
pelts
bunch of
today.
vegetation.
Got some pelts in my room today, which is quite good.
I found out more about the Sons of Prometheus. They definitely have a base. It's a place called First Forge. We just have to find it.
First Forge? Alright, that's it then. I know where that is.
You found one of them? A Sons of Prometheus operative?
He was posing as a Delver, but my focus locked onto his. When he saw me coming, he ran. I caught up with him, and he tried to crush his focus. But there was still data on it. A bunch of locations and coordinates. One of them was called First Forge. I didn't know what it meant till now.
Nice job.
You know me. Ancient tech expert.
Send me those coordinates, okay?
Now hold on, Aloy. I'm coming with you. Asera is the last of a line of killers that murdered Ursa. And I need to be there when she goes down.
Of course. Send me the location and I'll call you when I'm close.
All right then.
I don't think we need to play strike with him.
I should get going.
I say hi to Gaia for me.
Okay, so where is the First Forge location? Ah, shit. How do I zoom out? I can't, can I? There we are. Now where the fuck is First Forge? First Forge is probably actually a cauldron. I was honestly expecting it to send us on a mission from here to a place off the map. Still can't examine the token. Got that law.
Flat bread with cheese and some sauce.
Aloy.
It's good to see you. I'm guessing you've got a lot of questions?
I've been told of our enemy and their intentions. Your friends showed me to the vision you keep in this place, Gaia, and explained the situation surrounding the other you. They gave me this focus as well. I don't pretend to fully understand everything, but all I really need to know is where to train and when to fight.
Welcome to the team, then. What are you looking at over there?
The others have been helping me decipher the symbols the focus shows me. So, I thought I'd try to understand the weapon you intend to use against the enemy. This herfestos, it will be able to make machines that answer to Gaia?
Yes,
How many?
as many as we need.
Such power. Has the world ever seen the like?
Well, yeah, all the machines are made by Hephaestus, so the world's been experiencing this ever since we got revived.
Now that you know who the enemy is, do you have any questions?
I'll admit, I find them hard to grasp. From the heavens. And invulnerable.
For now.
Yeah, fucking
I will
sucks.
leave the strategy to you.
Wish I was
I
invulnerable.
trust you will point my blade where it will cut the deepest.
I should be invulnerable, they shouldn't have removed that. It was actually a bit overpowered, but I don't care about the other armors, just let me have the armor which allows me to have a fucking shield, which literally allows me to have an extra health bar which regenerates. Wow, a lot of lore.
You said the Bulwark was your home a long time ago. That you were part of the Sky Clan.
Yes.
That's all you're gonna tell me?
Fine. As you wish. My parents were killed in a clan skirmish, so I was raised by my squad. As I grew older, I came to be known as an accomplished fighter. Tekote took a special interest in me. I fought by his side against the Karja, and led my squad on a dangerous climb into the Daunt. It was I who opened the gates at Barren Light from the east side, allowing the Tenakth to raise it.
That must have gotten you some attention.
Indeed. I was welcomed home as a hero, and I was content.
Then why'd you leave?
I became a marshal.
Why did you leave the Sky Clan to become a marshal?
I was sent to the Kulrut by Tekote. Back then, I would have obeyed his every order. I believed in him, like one would a father. I was too blind to see the fear in his eyes. Fear of a rising young warrior challenging his command of the clan. I returned a hero from the battle at Barren Light. But to him, I was only a threat. Never occurred to him that I had no interest in rising above my station.
Why did Tekote think you wouldn't be a threat to him if he sent you to the Kulrut?
Tekote knew that if I survived the Kulrut, I'd be forced to forsake the clan to serve the Tenakth as a whole. I'd never be allowed to challenge his command, even if I wanted to. After our victory at Barren Light, Tekote spoke to our people, said it would be selfish to rob Hikaru and the marshals of a warrior like myself, even though he knew perfectly well I had no intention of ever leaving. It was exile, guised as an honor. One he knew I couldn't refuse. So I became a marshal, and never looked back.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I am not. Though it pained me at the time, a marshal is what I was destined to be.
When we were at the Bulwark, the guard said something about the Wings of the Ten. Hikaru also mentioned it at the Cool Route. Dekka, too. What does it mean?
The visions tell us that the Ten flew on great metal machines with wings, and leapt into battle from the sky. For us, to imitate this feat is the ultimate expression of martial prowess, and it is why the challengers leap into the arena during the Cool Route. Many times I imagined it as a child. The feeling of freedom, and the awe it must have inspired.
What did Chief Hikaru say when you told him he'd be joining me here?
You spilt rebel blood at the Grove, and helped reunite the clans. There was little more to be said. He understood.
Well, I'm honored he lent me his best marshal. At least for a little while.
Indeed.
You said you were training with the Focus?
That's right. I've been watching holograms of your first fight with the Zenith Spectres. They are faster and more agile than any machines I've faced before. How many do the Zeniths have?
I'm not
Probably
sure.
an infinite army. Nah, I'd want that
Probably a
bitch.
lot.
I would not wish to face them en masse.
I'm with
Yeah,
you
they're
there.
pretty bad. It's hard enough killing just one of them.
Must be strange, seeing everything through a Focus now.
I can see machines like never before. Their strengths and weaknesses simply reveal themselves to me. To think that such a tiny object might be the most powerful weapon I've ever possessed.
Knowledge is power.
What do you think of this place? It must take some getting used to.
It's an efficient center of operations, and an acceptable training facility. Though it could use some more color.
Duly noted.
It's turning green.
Anything interesting happen while I was away?
I found an acceptable place to practice with my blade.
Oh, and where's that?
Outside, above the base. There's a nest of sunwings that are always up for a fight.
Ever thought of sparring with something that's not trying to kill you?
That would defeat the purpose of the training.
Now
Whoops.
that you know,
I trust.
Meant to go right, left.
getting Ether out of the Grove made for quite a spectacle.
One that showed the entire tribe that Hikaru's mission for peace is the correct path. For it is now blessed by the Ten themselves.
Anything else you've been looking at with that Focus?
Gaia showed me the knowledge you recovered out in the desert. I am no chaplain, but I'd be curious to test if something I read is true.
What is it?
The old ones believed one could hear the great waters, even in the middle of the desert, if you carried the carcass of a water animal with you. They called them seashells.
That sounds kind of gross.
When it's phrased like that, it kinda does.
I heard my friend Talana came by the base. Did you get a chance to meet her?
Briefly. A bold woman going into Tanakh territory with that Karja armor of hers. She'll be lucky if my people don't shoot her on sight.
She'll be careful. She's just looking for someone who might need her help.
Whoever it is, they better be worth dying for.
But she already found them.
You've had some time with the team now. Any thoughts?
I admit I was surprised to see Nutaru here. Farmers don't make for effective soldiers.
I'm told she rallied some in her tribe against the Karja, and fought all the way to Barren Light.
Interesting. Perhaps I'm mistaken.
Wonder how he
Have you
gets
had a
Scott's
chance to
quest.
speak with Varl?
Briefly. He fought well against Regalla's troops at Barren Light. Are all Nora as skilled as the two of you?
I'm not exactly one of them. But anyway, the Nora can hold their own. They managed to push the Karja from their lands.
I thought my tribe was the only one to have done that. Impressive.
Does it still hurt?
It comes and goes. I try not to think about it, but its absence is always present for me. It's difficult to explain.
I can't claim to understand. Only empathize.
Then you have my thanks.
Have you spoken with Erend at all?
I've had little chance to. I did see him bring some ale from out east.
That stuff's as bitter as self-brush.
You get used to it, eventually. In fact, I wouldn't mind a drink myself.
I'm sure Erend wouldn't mind sharing. What have you been up to?
Varl has asked to learn the differences between my people's clans, so I've been teaching him Tenakth history. It is heavy with blood and death, but also with honorable deeds and vanquished tyrants. Maybe you'd like to hear about it as well, when our mission is done.
I'd be honored.
PlayStation sounds like it's overheating.
I'll let you get back to your training.
One
And
job
so
was
will I.
lawn mowing, which was the problem, but I think it's just the PlayStation. What's this? This mine. Whole house. Mine.
Are you sure that's what the data says?
I'm telling you, it's a drink, but it's soft.
Data expunged.
We can't expect to make sense out of everything the old ones did.
Hopefully we have the parts. Should have enough for a scale thing. Hey, we have enough for this. Nice. We actually have the... We actually didn't fail that. Okay. Got Ravager. Would have thought I'd be able to already override those. Oh nice, only just got enough of those. Oh, that's why I couldn't hack the crocodiles. I just physically didn't actually have the data. I hope that the lawnmower isn't getting picked up, that'll be annoying. How? Why don't I have the earth grinders? Did it delete the earth grinders after I picked them up? Oh my fucking god. That is so loud, there's no way that's not being picked up. Fuck's sake. Did I get the wrong part, or is it literally the stuff I pick up in the arena doesn't fucking count? Sorry about the fucking lawnmower, that's fucking stupid, it shouldn't be that, like... People should be more considerate, but they're not. I'll try and close the door, but I doubt that'll make much difference. So I'm missing one ornament, 2 vintages, 1 black box, and the totems. What was I doing again? Oh yeah, I was checking my resources. Oh no, I was checking the monster pig here to find out whether the earth grinders were the thing which I was gathering from that. So there's no point in doing the arena by the looks of things, because I think it deleted my... Because I definitely picked those up in the arena. Like, when I was fighting that in the arena, I made sure to pick up at least one of them. And it says I've got 0. Meaning that you don't even get to keep the parts you pick up, so there's no point in picking shit up in the arena. Which is fucking stupid.
Aloy. Is that what I think
Alloy.
it is?
Just need to merge it with Gaia, and she'll have enough power to handle Hephaestus.
Good news.
Wherever he is.
So, what can I do for you?
I hope Zoe's not upset I'm distracting you from your training.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that.
What do you mean? What happened?
Well, before Zoe found a way to fix the land gods, I suggested that when Gaia was fully restored, she could just make new ones.
Well, once we get Hephaestus, that's definitely a possibility.
That's what I said. But I guess there was something about my tone she didn't like. She got pretty raw. Said I didn't understand the way her tribe feels about those machines.
True.
Which is true, of course. And the last thing I'd ever want to do is dismiss their traditions. But I was trying to look at things differently. More like you know? To see a machine as just a machine.
Yeah, I guess I led you into trouble there, didn't I?
Not your fault. Don't worry.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't really follow Aloy, this thing. She's a bit antisocial.
Did you talk to Zoe after your fight?
I suffered through a few hours of glaring silence. Then she seemed to move on. Sort of. How do people do this? How do I know if the next thing I say won't blow up in my face? What if an apology is not enough next time?
You give her a stuffed animal?
You're the worst.
What makes you think I know anything about any of this? You're on your own.
Abandoning me again, huh? Well, if she kills me next time, it's on you.
Give her a stuffed animal.
Better get this to Gaia.
You did it, Aloy.
And you know what...
Let's hold off on the ale till it's over and done with.
And if you remember...
I'll let Aaron know.
What they literally mean is an actual stuffed animal, not a toy. Like, they literally just stuff an actual animal because they don't understand it properly. Hello?
Aloy, you've returned. And you come bearing gifts. Does this mean we'll soon be able to uproot the Zeniths from our lands?
That's what I'm hoping.
Good.
Have you met Katalo yet?
Yes, but he has kept to himself. Tenakth don't have much use for us outsiders. You must have made quite the impression for him to offer his fealty.
Yeah, it wasn't that much.
You ever play that board game Aaron set up?
Strike? I'm the one who gave it to him. I was hoping it'd distract him enough to spare us that ruckus he calls death metal. No such luck.
Machine Strike's such a good game. I kind of want to play it
It looked like you were working on something over
in
there.
real life.
With Gaia now growing in strength, I've been trying to find a way to heal the land gods, even if some people think I should give up on them.
Already said I was sorry.
Your friend thought it'd be a good idea to replace the land gods with new machines when Gaia recovers.
It wasn't.
The land gods have taken care of our people for generations. They are not some broken toy to be thrown away. Even if they are just machines doing their job, to abandon them in their time of suffering seems cruel.
I'm sure Varl understands that too.
He does now. I had to get pretty mad at him at first, though.
You know I can hear you guys, right?
I really should have just explained to her that it is, like, you could just make new land gods. I know that you have sentimental value for the ones currently, but you could just create new ones. Like, it is an option. Like, you could even just have, like, more land gods if you wanted to.
I assume you've been looking into Demeter now that Gaia's merged with it?
Yes. It's been humbling to know that the seeds I carry in this pouch came in turn from the seeds saved for Demeter in the old world. It gives me hope that the cycle of life will prevail now, just as it did before.
I should get going.
If you need me, you know where to find me.
And now to talk to the most annoying one yet. Myself. If I can work out how to get downstairs, that is. Anyway, there's something else.
Hey.
Looks like things between you and Zoe are better now.
I suffered through a few hours of glaring silence. Then she seemed to move on. Sort of. How do people do this? How do I know if the next thing I say won't blow up in my face?
Because it
What
will.
if an apology is not enough next time?
You give her a stuffed animal?
You're the worst. You know that?
What makes you think I know anything about any of this? You're on your own.
Abandoning me again, huh? Well, if she kills me next time, it's on you.
Well,
I have to get going.
Don't let me
talk
get in
to
your
the
way.
clone. But we have to work out how to get to the clone. And probably she'll lock me out anyway because she's kind of a piece of shit. Even if she has been abused, it's
To
no
unlock the
excuse.
equipment. Katala must have moved his stuff in.
Oh, was that a lift? Nope. Fuck, I can't work out how to get down.
The old ones fed off livestock a little too much for my liking.
Some of them ate more like we starved. Called themselves.
Well, you need flesh. Hello? Is there anyone in here? Hello? Is there any humanoid life in here? Okay, she had no new info.
Hey, me again. Was there something else?
Do you want a tussle? Oh, there is new info on you.
So, have you been going through more of the recordings for my focus? What about studying herfestos? Have you been doing that?
A little. It's quite different from the subordinate function that escaped Gaia Prime 20 years ago.
How so?
It's mutating, changing its own code. At this rate, we'll never capture it.
We'll find a way.
If you say so.
So, aside from Varl and Gaia, who else have you been talking to?
Herself.
Zoe told me how you met after your escape from the Hades Proving Lab. I had no idea you were severely injured. If the Zeniths had killed you, life on Earth would be doomed. My escape would have been for nothing.
But they didn't kill me. And thanks to Varl and Zoe, I was able to recover. You said you and Varl talk sometimes. What about?
He told me about your tribe, the Nora, and the proving ritual you did. I told him if I was born into the tribe, I'd never be able to do the proving.
It
Probably.
does require a lot of physical training, but there are plenty of other roles besides being a hunter.
I don't think I'd be suited for any of them.
Well, I guess it's a good thing you're not a Nora then.
Instead, she's just a defeatist, which is understandable. Been imprisoned for 10,000 years.
You said that Tilda reached out to you using a data channel?
Probably all of
It
us have been
appeared
gone through
in my
before.
Training interface as another assignment. When I opened it, there were a series of intermittent glitches.
I might go
I
through it again
realized they
just to
formed a
remember.
Transpositional cipher. Instructions on how to open up a new virtual space. When I entered it, my training interface disappeared. Instead of the usual holographic teachers and files,
was in a perfect recreation of her home. And you're sure the other Zeniths never knew about it?
To them, it looked like I was still in training. Toiling away. Alone.
In the darkness. Put your faith in the dark. The light will always betray at the worst possible moment.
You said Tilda showed you paintings and let you access media files?
Every time we met, she showed me a new painting. I think she was Dutch. All of her favorite pieces were from their golden age in the 1600s. Portraits, allegories, ships at sea. She had so many.
Didn't it interest you?
I liked her media portal. It had so much more than my training interface. Clips, shows, holos. My favorite was this one called Second Time Around, about a family whose kid comes back after disappearing during the Hot Zone crisis.
Right, but did this portal have anything about the Zeniths themselves? Anything we could use?
No.
Any information about them was redacted.
So this
And then we're probably going to have to talk to everyone
virtual
again.
space looked like a house with an ocean view?
I could see white caps and hear waves crashing on rocks below.
Wonder when we're gonna go there.
And there were gulls crying outside. Inside, Tilda had frames that showed off her favorite paintings, changing at intervals to match the light.
Because we do know where
There
this
was
place
another chair
is.
she liked. She'd sit there and gaze outside while I looked through her things.
And there was a
We
vault which we
spent
couldn't
hours in
open.
that house. I never wanted to leave.
Why? I don't understand why we don't know that we've already been to that house ourselves.
I'll be going.
Okay. Bye.
At least we'll finally be able to explore the entire base as well, with the power. Hopefully, we'll be able to anyway. Where's the Gaia data module?
Maybe we can look at it together later. Have a conversation about it.
I'd like that.
Hello, is there anyone through this door? Any Gaia subfunctions, referred to as Gaia?
Aloy, I'm glad you have returned, and I see you have recovered ether.
It's alloy actually. Insert the knowledge, it's power, and we know a lot. So I guess our reward from this was to get a new companion.
With the acquisition of ether, Poseidon, and Demeter, my heuristic processing density has expanded greatly. I should now
Are you
be
thick
able to
now?
absorb Hephaestus, and fortunately, we have made progress on a plan to capture it. With Varl's encouragement, Beta analyzed all available information on Hephaestus. Its expansion has been rampant. It is too large to be beamcast, and the kernel you have been using could never hold it. Therefore, it must be contained in a location with a direct physical connection to me. A place with 2 data cores.
2 cores. Where would we find a place like that?
Abandoned cauldron.
An abandoned cauldron in the desert west of here. Seismic activity disrupted the original construction. 2 data cores were built as a result.
I know that place. It's near the Desert Clan's capital. We'll have to bring you there by hand.
I have devised a blueprint for a suitable, albeit unwieldy, transport rig. It will require 2 people to carry it to Gemini.
I can help.
Once I am installed on the first core, I will call down Hephaestus on the other, trapping it. I will then initiate the merge. However, in order to construct the rig, I will need considerable help.
Can you build it? I suppose I could, but it's not gonna work. The Zeniths will find you. Minerva won't be able to conceal your location.
That is correct. Absorbing Hephaestus will create a significant power surge, easily detected by anyone capable of noticing.
But what if there were multiple power surges? To fake out the Zeniths? If Erend, Zoe, and Katalo spread out to the other cauldrons and create their own surges, would those conceal the one at Gemini?
Analyzing. Such a tactic might be effective. With Beta's help, we should be able to build a set of handheld pulse generators.
I told you it's not gonna work. I did a test. Hephaestus has written Alpha clearance out of its access module. You'll never be able to capture it. Then we need a higher level of clearance. There is no higher... Ted Pharaoh's mega clearance. The one he used to purge the Apollo database and kill the Alphas. But to get it, you would have to find Thebes. The private bunker he retreated to when the world ended, and nobody knows where that is, not even the Zeniths. Their only intel was that it was somewhere in San Francisco. That might be all I need. Alva, the Quen diviner I met, said her people had set up a base at landfall. They were searching for data in San Francisco from there. She might be able to help. So I guess I'm headed all the way west. While I'm gone, will you be able to build the rig and the pulse generators? I'll try.
I'll make sure she has what she needs.
Alva said the Quen have a ferry on the coast that they use to get to the ruins of San Francisco. Let's hope that when I reach it, I get a friendly reception.
Do you have any...
Aloy, I have managed to unlock an additional room near the servers.
Understood.
You unlocked one room.
I'm back, Gaia.
Hello, Aloy. What would you like to discuss?
Alright. We have so much lore to go through, like always.
I found some data in one of the rooms you unlocked. It mentioned that there are still functional seed banks beneath this facility. Why is it there?
My predecessor was tasked with reconstituting the biosphere with primary and secondary plant species. Had everything gone according to plan, humans would have eventually been able to introduce tertiary species, including new crops.
Can we access them now?
Unfortunately, it will have to wait. I require control over the machines in order to access and distribute the preserved seed stock.
And for that we need Hephaestus. It's something to look into later then. The processor Ether was installed on was part of an ancient war museum. A memorial to something called the Hot Zone Crisis. Do you know anything about it?
My knowledge of historical events was unfortunately lost with the Apollo database. However, climate data indicates a peak in regional temperatures in the 2030s. Such conditions would see extreme, prolonged droughts, an increase in dust storms, and a loss of habitable landmass.
But they wouldn't have built a museum in the middle of a wasteland. So I guess things got better eventually.
Yes. Data suggests that temperatures returned to average levels in the clawback era of the 2040s.
There was an ancient tank embedded in the bulwark, buried under a bunch of boulders. Any idea how it got there?
During the Pharaoh Plague, the US military resumed the use of human combatants, as automated machinery was unreliable. It is possible the vehicle was part of a pre-automated war fleet.
So they fought against the Pharaoh machines in the valley, until the mountain was blasted apart and buried them. So Gemini has 2 data cores. I've never seen a cauldron like that. But you mentioned something about seismic activity?
When my predecessor attempted to build the cauldron, construction was disrupted by a series of earthquakes. The data core had already been built, but the rest of the facility sustained damage. So, she began again. A second core was built. However, when more tremblers occurred, she abandoned the site.
Lucky for us. Are the quakes still happening?
No, though they did also create instabilities in other facilities in the region.
Yeah, we've seen the other ones are a bit damaged. What is our progress?
Beta's convinced we won't be able to capture Herfestos. With that attitude, do you really think she'll be able to build the rig and pulse generators?
It may take some coaxing, but with some assistance I am confident she will.
I don't get her, Gaia. She's so quick to assume we'll fail. She's nothing like what I thought she'd be. I guess it'll be best if she stays here when we go to Gemini.
Well, like I've said, she's literally been a prisoner her entire life. No wonder she has no fucking hope.
There's something I've been wondering. How could Ted Faro create a clearance level higher than Alpha? Elizabeth made sure he wouldn't interfere with the project.
It is plausible he tasked his own engineers with creating a back door to the Zero Dawn system, without Elizabeth's knowledge. My predecessor did not even know of its existence until he activated it to purge the Apollo database. It is, in effect, a blind spot, one that will allow us to subdue Herfestos.
But at a heavy cost.
Unfortunately, thanks to Beta's information, we know where Omega clearance may be procured.
Right. Somewhere in San Francisco. So our plan to capture Herfestos. Let's go over it again.
As you wish. Thanks to Beta's test,
Beta test.
we now know that Herfestos will not respond to your Alpha clearance. Which is why you will need to procure Ted Faro's Omega clearance.
Omega.
Right. From his personal bunker, thieves.
While you are gone, I will assist Beta in building the transport rig and pulse generators. When we get to Gemini, I will need to be installed on one of the facility's cores. The second core is for Herfestos. Using Omega clearance will allow you to trap it.
And then you'll be able to absorb it.
Not quite. You will need to manually remove Herfestos' malicious code before the merge.
How long will that take?
There are calculations I still must run, but I estimate a few hours.
And during that time, the others will create a distraction for us using the pulse generators, right?
Correct. They will each take position at a cauldron door and fire off their device. The energy surge should mask our activities until the merge is complete.
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat the Zeniths. Sounds like a plan.
Would it mask it though, or just mean that they see multiple sites? Still, our site would show up though.
So now that you have Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon, how's the biosphere looking?
In the local region, conditions have improved. Superstorms have subsided. Water sources have been purified. And soil
Purified corruption.
conditions remediated. These improvements will stave off environmental collapse for a few additional months.
Well, with luck, soon you'll have Herfestos. Then you'll be able to fix the biosphere for good, right?
When this game is literally taking the time frame that it's talking
I will be able
about.
to design and produce robotic agents to permanently reverse the environmental damage that has accumulated.
When it's literally taken a third of a year to complete this game.
How's Catalo doing?
I have detected that the loss of his arm still deeply pains him. In an effort to remedy this, I have discussed a potential solution with him. I believe he will want to fill you in on the details.
A solution? I'll check in with him when I can, then.
So that's how I unlock the quest.
All this data I've picked up in ancient bunkers and ruins. I guess I never really thought that other people would be looking at it.
Based on my observations, your companions engage quite frequently with this material. Erend has asked on numerous occasions about birthday parties. He appears perplexed by the tradition of serving a sweet confection, as it conflicts with the Oseram tradition of serving sparkling stout ale. He also suggested we host a party for you, as a surprise.
You just ruined the surprise.
Yeah, no thanks.
That is what I predicted.
You just ruined the surprise. We could have had a surprise party.
Is Katalo getting along with everyone?
Yes, though he prefers to spend most of the time alone.
Fapping.
He appears to be collating data on war machine progression and significant battles during the Pharaoh Plague, to aid in the creation of a war map of Operation Enduring Victory. I believe he aims to study the tactics of old world warfare.
I'd be interested in seeing that.
It appears to be a private pastime for him. He has repeatedly declined my offers to assist his research.
The Zeniths. Gerard, Eric, Tilda, Verbena. Beta said they were some of the most powerful people on Earth.
Pharaoh, Apollo
I think
Purge.
Elizabeth knew one of them. Tilda. Did she ever mention her to you?
No. Elizabeth often spoke of her work, or told stories of her mother and her childhood. If she knew this Tilda, she did not disclose it with me. What we can conclude from your and Beta's experiences is that the Zeniths are ruthless in pursuit of their goal. To protect life on Earth, they must be stopped.
Well, yeah, they want to eradicate all life from this planet to restart the origination process. Aether.
You mentioned that the superstorms have subsided. Is that Ether at work?
Yes. Thanks to Aether's capabilities, weather patterns in the local region should mostly stabilize for the time being.
That'll be a relief for the Tenakth. One of their villages is still recovering after a mudslide caused the whole place to flood.
I will continue to stabilize the atmosphere for as long as I can.
Why did Ether take up residence in an ancient war museum?
As with the other subordinate functions, Ether needed to install itself on a processor with adequate storage and power. The one in the museum appears to have been sufficient, given that the holographic displays were still active.
So Ether was assured it could stay for as long as it needed to.
Correct. Though it is curious that it chose a place surrounded with the ancient ruins of aircraft.
Maybe it also felt at home there. I guess I should get going.
As you say.
Interesting, the black box
Be well,
appears when leaving the dialogue, but isn't there when it's actually talking to Gaia. Door no longer stuck.
Trying to kill me?
He did almost drown it in beer.
Not on purpose.
Focus likes
That's
a
just
little
I hear
beer.
about you going west.
Turns out we need one last thing before we can grab Hephaestus.
Because it would have been too easy otherwise.
Oh, more lawn.
You've been looking at any interesting data?
I asked Gaia to find me something to look at a while back. And she found the mother of all forges. They called it sports. Turns out the old ones spent a lot of time tackling and punching each other for points in one game or another. Are you mixing some solid food and fresh ale? I bet half the claim will be lining up to watch.
How are things with Katalo? You still scared of him?
Oh, she thinks she's funny. Actually, I asked if it'd be interested in playing a game of Strike. I had to fill in most of the conversation myself, but I'm still alive.
Glad to hear it.
I'm the
I
strike
need to get
master.
going.
I think I know the answer, but are you sure you don't need any help? Gaia mentioned this other tribe you found, the Quen. They sound like a nasty bunch.
I can handle them. In the meantime, Varl will help you get ready for what comes next.
Take care of yourself, Aloy.
But yeah, like I said, I'd like to play Strike, but I feel it's unbalanced currently. That like the flying things are too strong, and the problem is, I literally can only win it because of like the AI isn't very good at it. Because like if you both just play defensively, it goes nowhere. Like there's nothing to stop you just both playing defensively.
I wonder what it's like being in space.
Like maybe like if there was a balancing thing that just slowly the arena got smaller, so you're forced to go in.
I'm sorry, Aloy. After all the trouble you went through, you have to head west again.
Well, no one said this was gonna be easy.
You sure you don't want any backup dealing with the Quen?
They think I'm Sobek, or something like that. They won't hurt me, but I doubt they'll be so kind to anyone else.
If you say so. Let me know if you need anything before you go.
Well, I'm
If
all
I get
on.
Omega clearance, and then we grab Hephaestus, we might finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging Thunderjaws.
Better them than us, for once. Did Catalo find his way here?
Zoe picked out a room for him. He's kept to himself for the most part.
He's not much of a talker.
So I've noticed. Tried paying my respects for those who fell when we were ambushed at the embassy. Told him I'd never seen anyone throw themselves at a machine like he did. He said a warrior shouldn't be praised for fulfilling their duty. For a second I thought I was talking to my mother. Never thought a Tenakth and a Nora war chief could have so much in common.
You better not be slacking off on your studies while I'm gone.
And risk Zoe coming after me? I value my life. In fact, I've been reading about Ted Faro. How he destroyed the world and crawled into a hole after killing those who saved it.
He definitely was a piece of work.
Yeah, nobody likes Ted Faro.
Well, Beta and Gaia built the rig. Can you get everyone ready for the mission ahead?
Of course.
What is it?
Nothing. It's just that everything's about to change. We'll get Gaia, and she'll help us set things right. No more Zeniths, no more derangement. It'll be a different world. I welcome it, but
It'll be the world like it's
I wonder
meant
how the
was meant to
Nora
be.
will react. And the Karja, and well, everyone.
Let's just focus on fixing Gaia for now.
You're right. We've got an angry AI to take down.
I'll be in touch if I need anything.
I'll make sure Beta briefs everyone on the pulse generators.
Good.